Refugee Help Center. Refugee Help Center is a community-based organization. Let me open my webcam as everyone can see. Is it clear? I think so. Okay. Refugee Help Center is a community-based organization with a non-profitable, non-political, and non-religious affiliation. Our aim is to promote, encourage, inspire, and empowerment, energize, train, assist, and as well as the support refugees through education and eradicate illiteracy, gender-based violence, HIV and AIDS against the refugee youth, who will be the future leaders and the role models of tomorrow. Today's the discussion, I'm here by representing as the moderator of this discussion. Our discussion today will be the education as a tool for refugee resilience, refugee communities, resilience, and empowerment. The background: RISE Discussion Series is a previously known as the Refugee Legal Weaponry Series. Is a series discussion is aimed of providing improvement related to the legal human rights. Information is directly to the refugee in Indonesia. Previously, it was conducted between 2020, 2021, and 2022 with a topic related to law, human rights, and a current issue in the dynamic of refugee in Indonesia. Our previous topic known as such marriage law in Indonesia, how to conduct safe demonstrations, and as well as fascination for refugees. They have all attracted and have a lot of interest from refugee communities as well as the local communities in Indonesia. This series webinar is conducted online through Zoom and YouTube platform in response to the increasing global pandemic situation. This year, SUAKA wants to continue this series discussions with a wider range of topics related to law, human rights, policy advocacy, and empowering refugee communities in Indonesia. As the first edition of this year's discussion, SUAKA will create discussion forum addressing as education as a tool of refugee communities, resilience, and empowerment. This topic has been chosen based by several factors. The first, while the refugee communities in Indonesia has been actively initiated and organized refugee-led organizations and learning centers with their communities. However, not all the refugees are well aware regarding the importance of those initiatives for their to their empowerment. SUAKA will hope that this forum will increase the awareness and resulted in an increasing number of refugees being involved on any initiatives and learning centers in Indonesia. The second, right to education is one of the rights and protections for the refugee that are relatively progressive in terms of the policy. There is a legal basis of implement formal education access for the child refugee in Indonesia. Therefore, it's an important to follow up. The discussion can also be a forum to discuss regarding the challenges and the room of improvement for the implementation policy related to it. The third, this topic is also a response to the social dynamics that are increasingly closely related to the everyday life for refugee communities. SUAKA has received many concerns and questions related to access to the education for the refugee in Indonesia. Therefore, it is again important for SUAKA to discuss the topics that are relevant in the wider community at this time. To accommodation refugee communities' voices as the person of concern and the person of interest, we are accommodating the representative of refugee communities to share their experience, their life in their activities related to the education while they stay in Indonesia. Considering an ongoing COVID-19 situation, SUAKA will conduct discussion through online platform, preparable Zoom meeting, and the recording will be published in the SUAKA YouTube channel. Our guest speakers will be divided into three. Each speaker will be able to choose and address proposal material both wholly and partially, according with their expertise based on. The first speaker will be Ibu Lilas from the Human Initiatives and Education Officer with CRS. The second speaker will be Sister Abulimsi, founder of Basic Education and Learning Center, and also from CRS. The third speaker will be Brother Adan Ali Ahmed, a BA student in Development Psychology at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities in Minneapolis. The key concept, the discussion will be conducted in a live Zoom, and the discussion will be conducted in English, and also there will be a representation from the speakers. There will be a question and answering session regarding the material shared. From now, I would like to pass the mic to our honorable guest, SUAKA Empowerment and Legal Officer, Mr. Anga Randy. Please welcome.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Brother Muhammad, for opening the session very well. Brother Muhammad also shared very important points about today's discussions, and just want to open briefly our today's sessions as a representing SUAKA, the organizations that made the event today as planned. So yeah, we will be having discussions about how the educations can be a very important and fundamental and also supportive tools for refugee communities to be resilient and also to be empowered generally while they are staying in Indonesia. SUAKA as well with the other organizations, we have many collaborations and identified many great best practices from other organizations, human initiatives, Catholic Relief Services Indonesia, Jesuit Refugee Services, and also with collaborations with UNHCR and other partners has many great efforts and best practices in terms of right to education from refugees in Indonesia, and as well best practices from the refugee communities as well. We've identified many best practices about the learning centers, about the education activities within the refugee communities. We also calculate many best developments in terms of education's necessity in the refugee communities as well. But since it is a very sustainable issues, which will be always be one of the concerns here with the refugee communities, so there will be always more room for developments in terms of the fulfillment of the rights of education for refugees in Indonesia, both in terms of policies and also in terms of the implementations in line with the awareness within the communities as well. So we would like to provide these discussions with many great speakers right now. We would like to cover many rooms of education for refugees. We have Mbak Lilis as one of the staffs of human initiatives who have many great examples and activities of education empowerment for refugee communities. Sister Abir representing the great activities of Learning Center and its important role for the communities, and Brother Aden will also have great examples of the importance of higher education for refugee communities. So I will not taking too much time because I am also cannot wait to hear from our great speakers today, so that we can learn from each other. And yeah, feel free to discuss with all of your thoughts, all of your discussion points to all of the speakers, and also with SUAKA afterwards. So yeah, let's have a great discussions, and thank you so much for your attendance today. Back to you, Brother Muhammad. Brother, I think you've still been muted.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Anga. I hope I can appreciate your brief statements. From now, also I would like to pass the mic to Ibu Lilis from Human Initiative. Ibu Lilis, welcome, please.
Okay, is my voice clear well?
Yes, very clear, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Muhammad and SUAKA for inviting me to this discussion. I'm very attracted with the topics today, since it is also the main focus of CRS and HI, Human Initiative to Organize People, that is related to education for refugees. Okay, before we start, my name is Lilis Sulistiawati. You can call me Lilis. Now I am Education Officer of Human Initiative for ASEA Project Education and Socio-Economic Assistance for Refugees since 2018. Human Initiative is a humanitarian organization that located in Depok, Jawa Barat. And for more information, you can search in this in the website. Okay, I hope everyone can engage with this discussion, and I will share. Let me share my presentation, my slides. Okay, share screen. Okay. Okay, you can see my share. Okay, and this one. Okay, thank you so much. We will start with the overview of this material that I have to share to you. The first one is refugees around the world, the total number of refugees in Indonesia, and then it's followed by Indonesia refugee children overview. And what laws protect the education for refugee in Indonesia, and what do HI, Human Initiative, do to participate in education for refugees in Indonesia, and what challenge that we have faced for the manage of education for refugees. Okay, we will start with refugees around the world first. Based on the UNHCR 2022 report, there are most 100 million people that becoming IDPs, refugee, and also asylum seekers in the world. And okay, in Indonesia there are more than 12,000 people that living in Indonesia now in 2022, and more than 3,000 is children. 64 children are accompanied by the parents, and 36 children are separated with their parents. And then, okay, wait. Because so many people, so many refugees that living in Indonesia, UNHCR prepare some durable solution to them. For example, voluntary return, permanent resettlement, and resettlement to the third country, and also community resilience and empowerment in the host country like Indonesia. One of the program in empowerment and resilience doing by education. Why education important? Oprah Winfrey said that education is the way to move mountains, to build bridges, and to change the world. And also, Malcolm also said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. So why education is important to not only refugee, but also to us. Okay, we will continue. So it is important of refugee education for refugee, but how education can empower refugees? The first one, it empowers by giving refugees the knowledge, the skills to live more productive, fulfilling, and independent lives. For example, if you are as refugee is learn bahasa Indonesia. In Indonesia, when you are living in Indonesia, you can use bahasa Indonesia to make communication to local people in the marker, in the maybe in the busway, and in the many public place. And the second one, it enlightened refugees, enabling them to learn about themselves and the world around them while striving to rebuild their lives and community. For example, if you are learning about swimming class, in the swimming class, you can make your own dress. You can make dress for another people. So it is can rebuild your the refugee lives and the community also. It helps the refugees to develop skills, their self-confidence and critical thinking. For example, if you are learning about English, you can prepare yourself when you are living in the third country, because most of the resettlement country is speak by English. So you can prepare by yourself to speak English very well. And the last, getting education is positive activity during living in Indonesia. As we know, in Indonesia, refugees can work legally, so they can use most of their time to getting education by offline or online class. Okay. And so, which law protect the education of refugee in Indonesia? The first one is education is basic human right that it is outlined in the Convention of Right of the Child, also Convention of Refugee in 1951. Because Indonesia signatory of the Convention of Rights of the Child, Indonesia also provides refugee children access to the national Indonesian schools through the Ministry of Education circular letter that issued in 19, and it is also revised in 12 May in 2022. So by this circular letter, UNHCR encouraged refugees to enroll their children into the national school system. Okay. How refugee can access education in Indonesia? The first ones, you can access formal school, Indonesian public school. As the data, more than 700 children in 2022 are joined in the public school in Indonesia. And you can also joining in informal schools to improve your skills by enroll in refugees learning centers and register yourself in community-based learning centers, for example, Roshan's, Health, and the others. And UNHCR also have collaboration with many reputable university all over in the world by enrollment in online through maybe for Coursera and edX. So you can reach this online. This report, for example, for Oxford University and Harvard University, they also make collaboration in Coursera. Okay, later. And how do HI, Human Initiative, participate in education for refugee? In collaboration with UNHCR and Catholic Relief Service, since 2018, Human Initiative have made collaboration in Asia Project, Education and Socio-Economic Assistance for Refugee, and education is managed by Human Initiative and Socio-Economic is managed by CRS. So by doing education for refugee, UNHI have hope that refugees population have optimal access to education. First, by enrolling to Indonesian public school in kindergarten level, elementary school, or in Indonesia said sekolah dasar, junior high school, Indonesia is sekolah menengah pertama, SMP, senior high school is SMA, and accelerated learning program or community learning program said PKBM. And the second one, Human Initiative hopes that refugee community has optimal access to the learning centers that managed by Human Initiative and also by many partners. Okay, I can continue to the HI education activities for refugee. The first one is enrolling school age refugee children to public school and accelerated learning program. The second one is preparation class program. And the third one is running volunteer teacher class. It is activities that managed by Human Initiative to serve education for refugee around Jakarta greater area. For example, Jakarta, Tangerang, and also Cisarua and Bogor. Okay, it is the example of activity 1, enrolling school-age refugee children to the public school. In 2022, more than 200 children have enrolled in 55 schools in Jakarta greater area. Jakarta, Ciputat, Serpong, Tangerang, Bogor, and Cisarua, Depok. And then they also, Human Initiative, make coordination with education authority and ministry in Jakarta, Bogor, and South Tangerang. And also make coordination with the local schools. And the last is doing and conducting many activities in anti-bullying campaigns. Okay, I'll continue. It is the data in 2022. The number of students that are registered or enrolled in public school in Jakarta greater area. Okay, I will continue to the activity 2. It is preparation class program. To prepare refugee children for enrollment in national school, UNHCR with HI is working together to make a preparation class program because in Indonesia schools, the school is delivered the materials by Bahasa Indonesia, our Indonesian language. So it needs for the children to master or maybe to know much about Bahasa Indonesia. For preparation class that conducted by Human Initiative is conducted in online system through Zoom and also WhatsApp video, WhatsApp call, and the others. And the total beneficiaries in 2023 is more than 50 children, and it divides into 3 levels. It is class A, B, and C based on their age and their readiness for the schools. And there are many activities that conducted in preparation class. For example, is basic math and science, Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesia school culture, how they can make communication with the friends in the classmates in local or maybe public school in Indonesia, and some fun activities like singing, poetry, games, and also make creative class by make some handcraft and the others. Okay. This is the step by joining to preparation class. The student can make a registration. They can contact the education officer or education team from Human Initiative and also CRS once. And it is teaching and learning activities that the activities conducted from Monday until Thursday with the schedule that have fixed. And the last is assessment and following by enrolling to public school. And activity 3 is running volunteer teacher class. In 2022, there are more 400 adults and kids that join in the 2 learning centers that's managed by Human Initiative in Tebet Learning Center and Ciputat Learning Centers. There are many classes that managed in these learning centers. For example, PIPA program, it is Indonesian class, Indonesian language class, English for adults, English for kids, computers, sewing class, electronic engineering. For example, it is smartphone to fix smartphones, and also handcraft class. Okay. It is the number of the students in learning classes divided into 2 language class and the total in learning centers from January and until November 2022. Okay, it is many challenges that faced by Human Initiative in managed education for refugee. The first one is limited knowledge of Bahasa Indonesia, or maybe Bahasa Indonesia barriers. Because it is different between spoken language and written language. Some students have confused and have struggle in the schools, but Human Initiative giving assistant teachers if they have problems in doing homework and the others. And the second one, it is limited places in public school where the children's side. It is sometimes the schools surrounding area of the children living area, they are refused or maybe cannot accept the children because of many situations. And the third one is uncertainty about the refugees' future. They are living in here. They don't know when they will have resettlement or what happened in the future. Sometimes it makes most of refugees distressed. So it is also influence the education. And the fourth one is health issues. And the fifth one is culture shocks, because it is different between background culture in Indonesia and also children that coming from many countries. Sometimes they feel culture shock in make engagement in the school. And the last one is local and the refugees community less awareness. Sometimes they think that in Indonesia they have is just for a while, not long time. So they want to join to many education place that given by UNHCR and partners. Okay. Yeah, this is the contact number. If you want to contact Human Initiative Education team. Okay, and I will close this presentation by one video. Wait, yeah. Share screen. Wait, where is the video? Okay. Where is it?
There are more than 13,000 refugees in Indonesia and 27 There are more than 13,000 refugees in Indonesia and 27% of them are children. It has been 5 years that the CRS and Human Initiative have worked together as the partners of the UNHCR. And we have been providing the education and socio-economic assistance for the refugees in the Greater Jakarta, Indonesia. We believe that regardless of their status, education is a basic human right that strengthens community resilience and equips them with knowledge and skills to find long-term solutions. We are providing a range of programs such as the language and computer classes at the learning centers, the school readiness program, and we also advocate the refugee children to get access to quality education through their inclusion in national education systems. In 2022, we have enrolled more than 200 refugee children in public schools. More than 400 refugees of all ages have access to the learning centers, where the majority of our volunteer teachers are the refugees from diverse communities.
Alhamdulillah mereka bisa mengikuti pembelajaran sebagaimana mestinya. Dia bisa bermain dengan anak yang beda mungkin ya dengan dia, bahwa kita asli Sunda itu seperti apa sih, sementara datanglah pengunjung ya. Tapi alhamdulillah dia bisa bersosialisasi. Kami dari pihak sekolah mengucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada pihak Human Initiative dan UNHCR yang telah menitipkan anak-anak pengungsi ke lembaga di sini. Mudah-mudahan anak-anak berkembang sesuai harapan kita, menjadi anak yang soleh-solehah, berakhlakul kalimah, bermanfaat dan beradab.
Being a refugee volunteer teacher, there is a lot of experience that I got from different sides, from the community. I really would like to appreciate the Human Initiative management. They're modeling to train the teachers regularly, and I believe we need to make a awareness from the refugee community, the value of education. And thank you very much, and I'm happy to be here.
is my third year working with Human Initiatives as an English teacher. The Human Initiative has always been helping the refugees in terms of education. The quality of the education is every year getting improved, and always helping especially the children, the women, and the elderly men and women have been given lots of help and education through this platform. This all credit goes to the Human Initiatives and the team in here, so they're just doing quite amazing work. God bless them all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. If you have many questions, you can we can in the question answer phase, yeah. Okay. For the time I given back to Mr. Mohammed. Thank you so much. Hope it is fulfill the knowledge of that we have expected before. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Lilis. It's my pleasure to thank and exactly wonderful appreciation for your the work done with the Human Initiatives as well as the CRS and UNHCR. Thank you, Ibu Lilis. Kindly, I would like to remind you again, please fill the attendance form that will be shared in the chat box, and your information confidentially will be kept and won't be shared with a third party. From now, I would like to pass the mic to Sister Aber Ibolemsi, founder of Learning Center and also education officer with CRS. Please welcome Aber. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Eden. Well, good morning, all. My name is Abir Abulamzi. I'm a Palestinian refugee representative, and I'm a senior mathematics teacher too. I'm glad to be here today, and I'd like to welcome everybody here. And I would like to give a special thanks to SUAKA for giving us this opportunity. Now that I have your attention, I'd like to discuss more about education. Education is, let's see, Mr. Anga, if you please, the presentation, first slide. Well, this is our agenda today. Today we are going to speak about the importance of education, access to education, supporting informed people about their representative and supporters in their community, suggestion for school and access to education. In the beginning, as I was saying, let's say that education Now that I have your attention, I would like to discuss more about education. Education is very important for us refugee, because us as a refugee are living a highly unstable conditions that makes us feel scared and sometimes insecure of ourselves. But with the power of education, we can always know we can rely on our education to help support us and to be stabilized even in the most uncertain of times, thanks to our learning centers and our online studies across the refugee community in Indonesia, Jakarta. As we know, the access to education, we have several ways. One of them that Miss Lilis already mentioned, that we can enroll our children to public school, public Indonesian school, while that's not possible unless they have or they own a very well of Indonesian language, which is not available for all of them or for most of our kids. In a refugee community, we have a brilliant entity called Learning Center. And those centers are made by refugee and for refugees to provide a proper education for them. But some of those centers are limited by the capacity and the center's area. Let's say, for example, that those learning centers had made by refugee to support their community, to support their kids, to support themselves. The thing is, by now we are all aware of the benefit of beneficial fact that refugees aren't allowed in a public school in Indonesia unless they have a high potency for Indonesian language, even though they do not have any access to an accredited certificate because they don't have an ID number or international ID number. Henceforth, we are keeping ourselves educated to be able to stand for ourselves and our communities too, by building and constructing learning center. And with the help of the United Nations High Commission Refugee UNHCR support through Coursera and other means, we are able to stay educated and caught up in the world around us without feeling like they have forgotten about us. While we are here, we are all gathered here today, we can say that we have a sort of proper system of education for refugees that is highly dependent on a learning center. Most of our kids goes to the learning center. They can find themselves there. Most of the classmates suffering out of the same circumstance. They have the same culture, all of them sharing some points. So it's easy for them to get involved together. On Learning Center and online studies, while we all have heard of the burden of the waiting list and the capacity and how incredibly hard it is to get into a learning center, that is a challenge that we all must overcome in order to proceed in life and move forward together. Refugees who have education and have struggled and battled with the problems and challenges that took them to get their education and finally be able to stand on their own, were able to live and continue to grow and prosper not only in Indonesia but also in their country, in the third country, where they were able to continue living like a normal citizen, working and studying and living a life, especially for women and children who always are looking for education. Children for their future and women for their children's future, and to recover a part of them that they feel they have lost. I'd like to go to the next slide, please. As a refugee, thank you. We all know getting access to education is hard for some refugees, especially those who knows nothing about language. So the language become a burden to them. They cannot enroll themselves in any learning center or any Indonesian local schools. That's why it's not only for a student. Actually, I faced several cases who's adults. They own their degree. I met pharmacies. I met a counter, but they doesn't have any English language. They need to make an equivalent to their degrees so they will be able to continue their life. Some refugee doesn't know anything about learning center. They're still keeping their kids at the house, or they are trying to involve them in any social activity while it's not working. Some of them going to homeschooling. There is many points to cover here, but I don't think that the time gonna help me. We have our community to help us and our children to find good learning centers for them. Let's go for the next slide. Before I go to speak about Basis of Education as a learning center, and this is an amazing experiment, I'd like to say thanks to the amazing community that have built learning center and have helped train teacher to support the people in their community, to teach and guide. We have been able to see that our future can indeed grow only thanks to the people around us. I would like to take the opportunity to not only thank SUAKA for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to talk about and to educate and support my community, but also the United Nations High Commission for Refugee for supporting me to get to this place where I can represent and educate my community and my people. But also I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for listening and giving me your time and attention as I spoke. For Basis Education, as a volunteer teacher, I'm always getting complaints about the waiting list. My son has been on the waiting list for 3 years ago. Now and more complaints kept coming and we all know the capacity of learning center. It might be understandable, but it's not acceptable. One day, an old lady told me that her grandson joined her in Indonesia a year ago, although she couldn't enroll him or registering him in any refugee center, learning center, or school, or anything. First of all, he doesn't know English. He doesn't speak Bahasa Indonesia. He become 13 years old. And she doesn't know what to do with him. She was looking for any opportunity to educate him or to keep him involved with education process. I spoke with some friends who already manage a couple of learning center, and I found out that they're not able to join him to any learning center because of the age. He was 13 years old, and the class of preparation only for 6 years old, 6 up to 9 years old, no more. So the kids or the category above this age is not allowed to register it to any learning center. Second, they doesn't have any capacity. As we know, those learning center at the beginning, it was houses, and each house with some rooms, and this room has a capacity. More than that, they have a volunteer teacher who need to get training before they go and stand up front of the student and try and start dealing with our kids. In terms, I talked to some friends, we discussed about the idea, what we have to do, how we can stand to this category or to this kid and some of those kids. And we find out that we may open an online classes to start teach them or taught them English language as a beginning, so they may able to register themselves in any other learning center. In the beginning, it was like it's piece of cake. It doesn't take too much work, so let's do that. David, the second day I talked to the lady and I told her, hey, we're gonna take an hour daily teaching your grandson online. A second day I got like 12 or 13 calls, all of them with the same message. We need to educate or to learn our kids English because they doesn't speak English, they doesn't have a bahasa Indonesia, and they need to involved with educational activity. In terms, we already prepare ourselves to give this hour 5 times a week, 5 times a week. So we open our classes online for 14 kids who doesn't speak English. We start all over from A to Z, how to read, how to pronounce, how to write, and all of this stuff. And they were happy with that. Day by day, we're coming up that even though they still need a program to get them more involved with education process, and we start looking for a real program to educate those kids, to put them in the right way, and to make them able to find their ways in this life. We try to communicate couple of education company. While we got an amazing help or amazing support from person ethical company. This company already create, or let's say it's designed a program curriculum for student. Not that's only, but it's provide our student by an international credit certificate. So it's not only a program or curriculum to study, it's more than that. It goes for, if our student already passed the exam, they can get their international accredited certificate, which was amazing for us because, as you know, international accredited certificate means it's gonna work if they get their resettlement or if they choose to go back to their town home. In terms, we start working, and here we are. We do have 2 classes right now. One for kids, or let's say for beginners, and the second class for adults. As we know, in Arabic nation, some country doesn't speak English and doesn't use English in their education. So they already have have the degrees as accounting, as a lawyer, as a pharmacy, while they doesn't have any English language. In terms, they want to find an equivalent and to be able, if they get the resettlement, to continue their life. The thing is, if they're gonna study English language only to get their equivalent, it's not gonna work like 50%. While if we find a really program to process those students or those people in the right way, they can apply and they can find their equivalent degree here in Indonesia before they go to the third country, or if they want to go to their hometown. In terms, now we have our discussion with the Macmillan Company to design a special course for those people so they can be able to get their equivalent degree. Next slide, please. Next, please. Well, I believe that's everything. If you have a question, I welcome all your questions. Before I leave, I'd like to say that now that the presentation is over, I would like to invite any and all people in this meeting to go ahead and ask me any question they feel necessary to ask me. As a refugee representative or a learning center founder or a volunteer teacher, I'm here to support my community. So please do come and ask me any question you feel you wanted to ask, whether it's for you or for your kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Aper. I would like to appreciate your wonderful work done, and as well as your wonderful presentation been presenting here.
Thank you.
There is a questions in the chat box, but we will actually kept in the questions Q&A sessions. From now, I would like to pass the mic as well as to our brother Adan Ali Ahmed. He's a BA student in University of Minnesota, Minneapolis. Brother Adan, if you can hear me, please welcome to our mic. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I actually did not prepare anything, but I will just speak from my experience in terms of educations and life in refugees in Indonesia, because I've been there since 2014 and works for the refugees and the agencies since 2015 to 2020 when I leave from CRS and CWS to UNHCR as an interpreter. So I thank you so much and thank you for having me here. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be part of these presentations. I actually want to be neutral in terms of, even though our subject is education, and I really appreciate Abir, whom I have never seen before, and Ibu Lilis, I know her very well. We met multiple times. We had the meetings talking about, education, so on. So I really appreciate for your presentation. And I understand that, how education is important. It has been, you have mentioned, critical things, how education is play a significant role in terms of human life, those kind of stuff. So thank you so much for the great initiative that, eradicating, poverty and those kind of stuff. So for me, actually, one of the things I really want to synthesize is that when it comes refugees and asylum seekers in Indonesia, we have two different things there. They are kids and adults. So when we talk about kids, they have their concentration of taking classes, and they are committed and following their teachers and instructions, their parents, because they have no pressure in terms of, thinking about nothing else, concentrating their classes. But when we talked about, adult, there's a tough time being a refugee and then living in Indonesia, because that is from my experience. Because I've been one of the community leaders who have been close in touch with the community and know more about the sensitive issues within the context of refugees. So the people there, there is a problem in terms of getting access to technology. For example, for me, I started the University of the People in 2016 in Colorado, online means. So I have been struggling getting internet connections, laptops, or even the cell phone sometimes. So like we talked about Coursera, Kairon in Germany, where I have had my associate degree. So it's unlikely that the refugee is there to get technological access due to the limitation of financial capacity and those kind of stuff. So I think that the adult, being an adult and being in Indonesia, and then education, so there is a less concentration because of the pressure that the people, in terms of their financial, living conditions and those kind of stuff. So that's one of the points that I just want to make, and people should understand. And I'm appealing the mental health levels that people, I'm not talking about specific community, because we have been interacting throughout the refugees in Indonesia, in Jakarta. So people, the mental health there is, refugee in Indonesia is high. And that has been associated the living condition. So I think one of the things that UNHCR should consider is durable solution. That is number one. Number two is I appreciate the SUAKA for being pressuring Indonesian government in terms of legal process and, refugees having, access to higher education and those kind of stuff. This is really very important, because this is the second time that I participated SUAKA webinar. In 2021 was my first time, even though we have had multiple times training for SUAKA. But again, this is the second webinar that I participated, and it's really, SUAKA plays a significant role in terms of legal systems, and we appreciate that, because there is a restrictions of immigration policy where refugees have no right to work, to get their daily life. People, they are waiting some money at the end of the month from CWS, which is not enough. So even though our subject does not related financial or legal, but again, from my experience, they have less chance of accessing the adult individuals for education due to those situations. I have seen a number of students from Ibu Lili's classes, and for example, a young boy called Khalid, who is next to my place here, even though despite English problem, but again, they have super writing quality for a student from Indonesia. That's one of the things I recommend, because, learning English, considering just English as a foreign language, will not only support you to interact the foreign student when you come to here in the United States, or maybe Australia or New Zealand, but the Indonesian language will also help the student to, to build their writing. And also there is a discipline. His mom told me that the discipline of the student from Indonesia, they got high score, because here discipline is matter here in the United States. The way you treat and the way you interact teachers and the way you respect people. Even I myself, as an adult coming from Indonesia, here in the United States, I feel like I have got self-discipline, even though I have never been to Indonesian class. But again, we have been interacting in the community and public events, neighborhood, So the local language is really important. I will advise my refugee and asylum seekers in Indonesia, please interact, do local integration. If you have chance, go to classes where the centers that teach Bahasa Indonesia. don't only focus English, but also Bahasa Indonesia is very important, because at the end of the day, we have many students here, and even though I speak very little Bahasa Indonesia, but again, we communicate and we interact, I feel like I'm Indonesian, right? So that's one of the things that I advise. Not only English, but Bahasa Indonesia also is very important to learn, writing, reading. It will help you tomorrow, even you are enhance your writing capacity. The other thing is, yes, sorry. And the other thing that I will address in terms of education is there is a Coursera has been mentioned. There is a Keiron. There is a University of the People in Colorado here. I think one thing that UNHCR and CWS and CRS could have engaged is to have a place that people can access their online classes. Because as far as I know, the refugee there have no 99%, there's no access to technology and internet, and the Wi-Fi in Indonesia is very expensive and they can't afford. So I think having a place to access technological equipment will be supportive. People, they will have some moral support for them to engage those classes and attend their online classes and get their certificates. And also, I will also encourage Russian. For those of you who want to attend higher education, it is very important to go to Russian and get their, GAD, to get their GAD, and, once they go back to their country, or maybe get durable solution from maybe United States or Canada or somewhere there, you will have your GAD and go directly to the community college or, university. So that is one of the things that I will encourage some adult and also people who can attend higher education. This is a small number. I don't think, speaking from Somali community, for example, I don't think we have a huge number that can attend higher education, because most of them, they don't speak even English. So there's a less chance of accessing higher education. So just to go to English class and enhance their English speaking capacity, that is one of the things that I will encourage. But for those of you who speak English and you have some background of previous education, go to Russian and enhance your English capacity and get your GAD, and then eventually join higher education. That would be potentially important for them. And lastly, again, my conclusion is, please, I think this is a recording event, right? UNHCR, CRS, and CWS, please consider the people living in Indonesia for durable solutions. Not only focusing on education, but if I don't feel, I don't have the moral of going to class, and then you encourage me to go to school, I will not gain anything. At the end of the day, I have no place to go back, because the situation that I flee from my homeland is still existing. And, Indonesia, there is no chance of going to work and get and earn some money. And there is no chance of to the third country. So the only thing that remains there is your mental, capacity will be destroyed because of, between in a rock and a hard place. So that is my appealing to the agencies to take into consideration, that to consider, because I have a lot of knowledge and how refugees are living in Indonesia and the situation they are in terms of financial, their financial situation, specifically financial situation. It's very, very difficult. So that is all. I thank you for your time because there's nothing I have prepared. This is just from my own experience being in Indonesia and being a community leader. So thank you so much. And once again, have a good night.
Thank you, Brother Adam. I'd like to appreciate your wonderful experience and background as a displaced student resettled in the United States in last year. Actually, you have been in Indonesia and worked with the refugee communities in Indonesia. And we have to appreciate your wonderful works that you have done for the communities at large. By now, I would like to, actually, the time will come at the end, and we would like to take some Q&A sessions. If someone has a question, please welcome to the mic, and also you can share in the chat box as well. Please, you can send your hand, or you can take the mic to share your questions, please. There's one question actually from Amina. I think that question straight goes to Ms. Ibu Lily. The question says, thanks for your presentation, Ms. And I want to know about what kind of benefit that we can get if we join education, which means education, it's a formal and informal education. Welcome to Ibu Lily. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the time, Brother Mohammed. Okay, for the formal education, the benefit, the benefit for the formal education. The first is a graduation letter can be issued from the school after the students complete their study in the level. For example, if the students have finished their level in secondary or maybe in elementary, the graduation letter will be given, and it can be used to continue to the junior high school or secondary one. And also human initiative will be also provided school supplies, allowance to buy school stuff, and also school transport allowance. This for formal education. And in informal education is for learning center, Brother Mohammed. Informal for learning centers, maybe we can just bid it to increase the skills for Bahasa Indonesia or for English or computer. Just if they have joined the class, the skill will be increased. Just like that. As now, the learning centers is still be stopped because many conflicted situation. And if we have new information about the reopen learning centers, we will share to the more communities. Yeah, it is clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
if you allow to me, I'd like to add something.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
If I got the question clearly, I think that the importance of education, being an educated person, means that you own up to your choices. It doesn't only mean that you can read and write. It means you can open your own doors and be responsible for the choices you make. It's not a choice to be educated. It's a need to be educated, as I believe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, I would like to share some question to Brother Adam. Please, if you can quickly continue as this question if I join the education, what kind of benefit that I can receive as a person? Please go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I think the person who asked the question, he or herself, I think, is aware that how education is important for our overall lives, and because for example, me and my colleagues Ibrahim, we came here as a student, right, from Indonesia. So we've been there as a refugee, and then we came here through scholarship and sponsors. So if none of us had no knowledge of education, then I wouldn't be here, right? So that's a simple example that I think I can provide that. And also, one of the things, I think this is out of the question, but again, ladies, when you have no education, then you are always depend on your husband, right? So I think you guys, girls, please, for you to be independent and make your own decisions, you have to, you have to go to school and, pursue your education so that you will be independent and do your own things. So you will always depend on husband. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. I think education is the fuel of the future, and it's a power for everything. And we understand for that, all of us. Please, if there's another person can directly ask, it's welcome to the mic, please. If anyone, if you don't mind. Okay, we would like to pass the second question because we don't have another person that will ask it directly. And it says, hello to everyone. Will other participants be allowed to speak? Yes, for question. Yeah, Mr. Hassan, welcome, please. And also, we need to get some questions in the chat box as well, if it's possible. If someone has a question, please welcome to the mic. If someone has a question, please welcome to the mic. Please, Hassan, if you have a question, yeah, welcome, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Thank you so much for having me and giving me the chance to ask my question. And thanks from Miss Lily, Sister Abir, and Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Renga Hinal, there's Adin Ali Ahmad, who talked and made something clear to us. The discussion is about the education, how important it is. And when I came to Indonesia in 2016, my name is, first I should introduce myself, sorry. My name is Hassan Ramazabatik, one of the volunteer or refugee right activist here in Kalideres, Jakarta, West Jakarta. Living here in Indonesia since January 2016 and abandoned here in building X named X Kodim in Kalideres since 2019, without any water, without any food, without any electricity. This building does not have electricity. And we asked the people here, they donate us. We live based on some donations here. No one pays attention, despite there is a law, there is a presidential decree for refugees, there is human rights law signed by Indonesian government, and there are responsible organizations like UNHCR and SUAKA and others, IOM. As you see, we can see clear discrimination here between the refugees You can see people in Aceh arrives into 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. They are being accommodated by IOM, but we left here, we are abandoned here in this building since 2019. No one pays attention, even no one gives the water bill here. And now how can we talk about the education? These are the obstacles. We do not have water. How can we study? How can we learn education? We should first think about those obstacles. We should remove the obstacles. We should make a clean a way, make a road to learn first. I started in 2016 online courses like Mr. Aden said in Kairon and also Coursera, from programming to journalism and then to human rights law, international law, and I am studying international law through online courses. So it is a need, it was a need. Now I feel something better than I was in 2016, and I learned a lot of things because it was a need for me and I need it for the future. I can find a way through this education. I was blind before I was learning these things. I didn't know about these things, and it is a need. And people should learn at least languages, or if they can do more, they should learn more and more and more. But before we start from the branches, we should start from the roots. From the roots, we should first remove the obstacles. We should first push the responsible organizations or the government do more because they are obliged when they are signed, or the decrees and the treaties they signed, human rights treaties they signed, the right to food, their right to education, the right to life, their right to free expression. They should push, we should push them. And what is the way? What are the ways to push them? SUAKA is responsible to advocate the refugees. And I have a complaint, and I asked the SUAKA since 6 months. For 6 months, I'm asking them to advocate me. They are not doing it. They are not doing it now. They give me, when I ask, I send a message to Mr. Enga or the secretariat. They give me a response or reply for 10 years, 10 days after 10 days, 20 days after 1 month. And they are wasting my time here. I participated in 2019 RR election, refugee representative election. I got 231 votes, the highest vote among 50 candidates, 51 candidates. But I was rejected, disqualified by UNHCR. This is injustice. This is cruelty. This human rights violation. This is occurring in Indonesia. How can you ask the people to get education? Yet there might be some people that they are able to get education. They do not have any financial issue. They do not have any other issue. Their families are here with them, and they are not. And for example, I'm teaching now students English language and also Quran and also Persian. For 1 year, I am teaching only one class. They are not able to learn it, to memorize it. Why? They are not focusing. They cannot focus on these things because they are thinking about their future, about their parents, because they are remaining back in their country. They are thinking about their children remaining in their country. They cannot do it. Come, please visit here. I am teaching them for 1 year from December to now 2021 until now. They haven't finished only one class because they cannot focus on this thing. When they get out of the class, they are thinking about how to get out of this limbo, this education. I participated many town halls meetings of UNHCR, and I always mention that these are not, yes, this education is a need, but these are not the solution. This this can be a pretext for the government of Indonesia, for the responsible organization, that yes, they are providing their rights, human rights, just like the right to education. That's not formal, it's informal. The learning centers are not standard. They are themselves are students who are teaching the people. They are themselves students. They do not know how to teach. They are learning. So this is the problem now. First, please try to try to start from the root, remove the obstacles, then educate the people. I'm posting my social media that if people, the refugees stayed in Indonesia for 7 years, for 6 years, but they haven't learned anything. They haven't improved even their language. They have done nothing, and the things, the water, the food they have eaten, that is haram, because they haven't done. They ate and sleep. They ate and sleep. They have done nothing. I encourage them to learn, but they cannot do it. I myself tried. I tried if you see my LinkedIn page, I have maybe about 30 courses I have done, 25 to 30 courses I have done. But I have this experience myself. But these are the obstacles. Please, we should try to do what we are for to do. I'm asking those who, for example, SUAKA and Sister Lily, Sister Abir, and who are trying to do something, please make it from the beginning, not from the branches. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Hassan, for your wonderful sharing thoughts. I think before I go to another chat box, questions in the chat box, please, Brother Anga, if you can share, Hassan has been asking kind of thoughts, and the question is, please, Brother Anga, welcome to the mic, please.
Yeah, I would like also to hear from the other speakers as well, because Pak Hassan also mentioned about SUAKA and the role of SUAKA for the advocacy of refugee rights protection. And I would like to first thank you to Pak Hassan. We are always communicating previously, and we really appreciate what he was doing right now until now in the community. Pak Hassan is very active in the Kalideres and also in Afghan, not only on Afghan refugee communities, I think Pak Hassan, but also advocating for other communities as well in Kalideres and also other areas. This would be a very great feedbacks for us, not only for SUAKA, I guess, because not only SUAKA that you've mentioned, but also other civil society organizations. But I just want to make the discussions in line with the topics today. Pak Hassan also mentioned about the situation of right to education, about the challenges, which is very great, because one of the targeted outputs from this discussion is not only about materials, but also from sharing from the communities directly about the situations there, about the right to education. So Pak Hassan has demonstrated great overview about the situations, about how it is in line with the challenges faced by the communities on accessing basic needs. Pak Hassan mentioned the situation in Kalideres about the challenges for basic needs and how it is challenged, how it is affected the situation for refugee to attend educations. So thank you very much. And for other points, Pak Hassan, I would like and very glad to discuss about the other points. But maybe the context is for the other contexts that are not in line with the access to educations, we can just have for further discussions, and we will always very open for you to discuss with us about any other points, not only with Pak Hassan, but also for other communities and for also other collaborations. So thank you, Pak Hassan, once again, and If there are any response from the speakers as well, would be very happy to hear it also.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Anga. If there is other speakers can share with the thought from Hassan, please welcome to the mic.
May I?
Yes, please welcome to mic.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Hassan, for sharing your thoughts and your idea and your experiment. The thing is, as you know, we are a refugee or asylum seeker. We already owned or we learned how to deal with what do we have, okay, in the best way possible. So the thing is, when we try to educate other people, you know that we are as a learning center or informal teaching, we depending on volunteers. That's why we have to develop those volunteer skills. As you know, as a teacher, me by myself as a teacher, I got like not only 4 years college to be a teacher. It's a training for 2 years and taking a training and a training and a training, dealing with teaching methods, dealing with kids problem, how to deal with that, how to explain, how to get their attention to your side so you can give the lesson in the better way, how to let them link the lesson with their daily life so they can rely on what did they learn or what did they earn in your class in the basic daily needs. Me as a mother, I'm just a refugee like others, a refugee who's always daily looking for for our basic needs, while education also is a basic need. But the thing is how to get your education in what way and how to support others. For example, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do if your own kid asked you to help him or to explain a mathematical problem or an English question? I believe you're going to read the lesson first, then you're going to find the point that he should take or he should learn from this lesson, and you're going to explain it one by one. Our volunteer doesn't own this skills. That's why we already providing them by training and training. As a volunteer, not all of them are teacher. They doesn't have the same background. So we have to give them something which is, let's say, something ready to serve. They're not ready to prepare a lesson or to explain a lesson. All what they're doing, or most of our volunteers, get the lesson, read it in front of the kids, and that's it. It's not the way how to lead a kid or a student to earn education. There is a method, and we have to earn this method. Most of our volunteers doesn't have this background. That's why we're providing them with a training, continuous training. It's not like 1 month or 2 months. It could be 1 week each 2 months, according to our plan. In addition, we're serving them a curriculum which is ready to serve. Like, here is the material, and here is the preparation. Read the preparation, prepare your question, prepare how to hold your class. And I believe we're doing a good work so far. Thank you.
Thank you for your briefly adding spoken. There is one question left in the chat box. That question says, it's from Dembele, one of the paralegal activities. Dembele said, I am a Bahasa student, I study Bahasa, and currently I can't understand why my language is not affection again. I think this question is directly to Ibulilis, if I don't mind, please. If you don't mind, welcome to the mic, Ibulilis, please.
Yeah, I'm here. The question is,
Yeah, the question is one of our participants written in the chat box. His name is Dembele Krim. He says, I'm studying in Bahasa class, and my current Bahasa, I don't know how to say, I can't understand why it's don't function again. Means I can't speak probably in Bahasa, although I am studying in Bahasa class.
okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Demeble Karim, before. As I stated before, that for 2023, the learning center that's managed by Human Initiative is still stopped due to the conflicted situation that we have. So if he is one of the Bahasa class, yeah, maybe if we are reopen again, we will share the information about the reopen the learning centers. Okay, okay, Mr. Demeble is raise up. Okay, raise hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Dembele Karim. Yeah, I'm speaking from Refugee Touch Organization, one of the Paraliga batch 3 that participate in Paraliga. Thank you, Mr. SUAKA, for this wonderful session. And I thank every one of you for your incredible speech and input in this session. So my question there in chat box, I'm trying to ask because I am one of the participants in Bahasa class, but currently I've called several teachers that I have their contact, ask them, why is the class not functioning? So I couldn't get good answer from them. And this education thing we are talking about is very important because so many of us refugees here that flee from Indonesia have no opportunity to study in their country. Like me, my English is not good. I'm trying to improve my English. So this education we are talking about is very important. But I don't know why Human Initiative and other partners, other organizations like UNCHR, they're not taking it serious. You know, study online, you cannot compare study online or study in person. You cannot compare both of them. So that's why I require for your contact so that I could call you so that you can give me some details so that I will follow up. Thank you, every one of you. That is my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dembele. We come running out of time. Exactly before I close in our session for today, please, any speakers can conclude the final, statement, if you don't mind, please. Otherwise, we become at the end of our discussion session for today. I think there's no closing statement. Mr. Adam, Ibu Lilis, up there, if you don't mind, a closing statement, please.
Mine is just to make a comment on what my brother has said now. I think there is Abir also has the classes in. She has classes, English classes, I think. So maybe those classes are specific areas. Like for example, there are many learning centers in Bogor where some refugees debug somewhere at Tangerang, they can't go there instead. So I'm not sure if those classes could be expanded, in various destinations, like for example, 3 to 4 different places, even though despite the fact that the funding could be limited, but again, if you could have expanded those classes so that people will have access, equally and, get their, English classes taken, I think that will a contribution.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I think any other speakers, please, if you don't mind, for closing statement.
Well, if you allow to me.
Yeah, Yeah, don't mind.
I'd like to thank you all for listening and opening up today. The thing is, whatever we said or whatever we faced, it's not going to be an equivalent for the importance of education. Being educated, it's not a choice those days. It's a need. It's a first and basic need that we have to looking for our education seriously, and we have to take it really seriously. Not only for for ourselves, but for our kids too. This is their life and their future, and we shouldn't take it. We should take it more seriously than that. We're holding our online classes now, and as Mr. Aden Ali Ahmad said, that we are not. Just wanna add that we are not only in the beginning. We already started with the English language class, but now we have a full designed curriculum for our kids. As I said, we already deal with a person ethical company, and they're providing us a curriculum and the final exam, and as I said, international credit certificate, which is amazing. It's a first time in a refugee life or an asylum seeker in Indonesia to be able to get international accredited certificate. Further than that, as we know that Roshan is not only provided us by GED certificate, now they have a lead open program, which is also provided an equivalent for grade 12 credit certificate, which is accessible at American, Canada, Australia, and some other countries. So far, we're already working on several solutions, several effective solutions, which is gonna provide us with a better future. I wish all of us gonna reach at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. We came to the closing session because we are running out of the time. And exactly, I would like to appreciate all of you from the SUAKA, I think, members, and as well as the members to participate in this discussion session. And as well as, I would like to appreciate all the speakers. In here in Indonesia, it's a daytime, but Adam is in the mid. It's a night time. I think it's a mid of the night. And we have to appreciate, Adam, your time to give us and as actually your wonderful thoughts, as well as the experience and the background, as well as the other speakers. I would like to appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and have a nice day, as well as have a nice night to Adam. And bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so
everyone. Thank
You
you.
all
Thank you. Have a nice day ahead. Goodbye.
much.
Bye. So all the speakers, could we have short discussions after this? Yeah, thank you. All participants are allowed to leave. It's okay. Thank you. The session is already over.